with those two people. Okay? All right, great. Now what I'm going to do, and I need help from the camera people to make sure we get all this, is I'm going to set up the chairs so that they are equidistant and I can sit and move in such a way that's useful. So I'm going to move this back. This is going to be my position. And so I'm going to make sure that the chairs are equidistant from each other. Okay, like so. And I think what we're going to do is have you move this chair so the back is directly aligned with the back wall. So it's facing that way directly. This way a little more. Okay, so then we can do this and this. I think it's better for the camera and the audience, okay? These are equidistant. Now, you might have to, given the situation, make these very far apart if it's a really loaded situation. Yes, Chris?
May I just ask that Amal move over this way?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, could you? Yeah. Great. Now, if it's a very loaded situation, you can move these chairs very far apart. The more emotionality to it, the more you want to move them apart. Is this far enough apart?
I think it's fine.
Okay. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to be seated over there. So have a seat in observer. This is observer. And you always keep the spaces clear. They're always the same. So this is observer.
Okay.
Now, which one of these is Blair and which one is Blair's father?
So do you want me to imagine that we're talking or I'm looking
Those
at
two-
them this way?
Yeah.
Okay, so the situation is here, not somewhere in my mind's eye.
Exactly. You're putting it out there.
Okay, so I'm here.
You mean Blair is there?
Yes, he's Blair.
So there. Thank you for demonstrating that. So my job as B is to ask Blair questions as the observer. So and make sure he uses third person language when talking about Blair. What is Blair's father's name?
Irvin.
Irvin. Now this is something else that if you can name the other person a name rather than my dad or my mother, it helps even further dissociate and make the role clear.
Right.
All right. So this is a situation in which you would like Blair to have what? More clarity or what?
More choices in behavior.
Okay.
And more kind of distance or something.
Okay. All right. Well, this is a good first step.
Right.
Yeah. Do you
Create
feel?
some distance, they're all moving back. So that's
Oh yeah, they don't want to be. Now, are those chairs far enough away from you?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So take a moment with your eyes opened or closed. Watch Blair and Irvin in this relationship. I don't know if they're talking or moving or what.
And what from
Pick an instance that is representative of their relationship.
At my age now, or
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
At your age
At
now.
his age now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So watch them now, in however you represent. Now, as he's doing that, I want to say that perhaps it's someone you haven't seen for a long time, but still do it in the now, that the observer is now, okay? And that person is now. You'll have a representation of this, and you do? Okay. So what do you notice in how these two men relate to each other?
She's Blair or he?
Blair.
Blair.
Oh, he.
He's kind of keeping the peace or mediating or something.
So he's sort of keeping the peace, and how is he doing that?
Well, just by, I mean, he knows enough where to go in conversations and where not to go.
Oh, so he chooses the direction that he takes a conversation with Irvin.
Very much so.
Okay, all right, great. Great. Okay. And what do you notice Irvin doing? Or what happens in the dynamic between them? You should just notice this.
I kind of noticed that his map of reality is reality. Kind of like.
So what behavior do you see in him that lets you know that? I'm going to do this. Now, I'm one of the things that I'm doing.
Getting me back.
Yeah.
Dissociated.
And if I take rapport with him, I know when he's not. Because I'm getting it too, right? I'm getting feelings. So that's why I lifted your chin. yeah. Okay. So in this position, you want to make sure that they're leaning back, the chin is up a little bit, just not below level. Because the minute it comes below level, you have the possibility of going into feelings.
Yeah, I felt that.
Yeah. Okay.
So what do I notice about his behavior?
About his behavior. So this man over here is sort of careful about topics he brings up. This man is doing what? You should just watch him. Is he stiff? Is he loose? Is he leaning towards this person, away from this person? Is his voice high or low? Those sensory descriptions.
He's kind of sitting similar to how I am here as an observer.
So sort of detached a little bit back. Okay. All right, great. In a moment, notice the language in a moment, you're going to leave the observer position and role here. You're going to stand up and move over and get inside Blair.
Okay.
And as you do make that movement, you can make it slowly, you can walk slowly, and make a conscious effort to leave the observer detached position here and to step into Blair.
Okay.
All right, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. All right. See him and then step into him. And this is where you can allow yourself to get into feelings and thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah. So Blair, tell me a little bit about how you feel about this situation with that man. And what is it that you want to happen that's not yet happening? Or what it is you want resolved?
I guess what I want is, in some way, separation.
And you want separation so that what?
That he is who he is and I am who I am.
So what you really want is to be clear and accept that he is who he is and you are.
Yeah, he's made his choices in
Right.
his life, however.
Right. And if you could do that, you could have that clear. What would that allow for you that's important to you?
Be more of who I am.
Okay. So let me check something to make sure I'm hearing. When you're around him, you want to be clear about who you are. And you want to have enough separation that you can hang on to that. Yeah. Okay, great. Anything else you notice from this position about what you believe about this situation? What's important to you, given what you want?
Well, a little bit from yesterday that, he did the best he could.
Yeah. So some appreciation. Hanging on to yourself with appreciation. Okay, great. Good. Go inside for a minute. Let that be here. Very powerful. Doing good. And when you're ready, you'll be standing up and leaving all of that there to come back to observe the position and do it only as quickly as you can leave all of this there. Do you need to be here any longer?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. Leave it there. Yeah. Would you like a drink of water or anything?
I have one here.
So you want to make sure there's a good break state from either one of these back to here. So water, a little this, whatever. And, okay. So, we're here in observer position again. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And there's Blair and there's Irvin. And you now know exactly what Blair is wanting. And as you look at this situation, what new information from an observer's point of view would you like to comment on? Or notice or add to your perspective over here? As an observer who's just sort of interested but not connected to this process.
Not there yet.
Okay, stand up, stand up, stand up. Come over here and just sort of leave it. If we had more room, I'd move the chairs farther apart at this section. But again, making sure they're equidistant from each other. Okay?
That's better.
Come here. All right, come here. I'm going to do something with you. And this is going to be really weird, and it's okay. I'm going to tap under your eyes for a minute, okay? As you think about this situation, okay? This is going to dissociate you even further. Okay. And as I do this, I'll explain to you that when we carry stuff in our mind field, when we do this, it shatters it a little bit and lets us let it go. Is that better? Okay, so have okay, good. So there's Blair, there's Irvin. We're observing them. You've been talking to Blair, so you kind of know what it is he's wanting. Yeah, and his goal. So, any additional things you observe over here, having been there?
No, it's not so much new information. It's just being able to do it instead of think about it. I mean, sometimes what you logically can understand, what's real, is a little bit different. So
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay. So what I'm hearing is, there's a lot of emotion there that may override logic.
No, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. Good. Now, there's Irvin over there. And we're sort of looking at this guy. In fact, I am going to take the opportunity. We've got a little more space here. A little further. A little further. Okay. So there's Irvin. And in a minute, you're going to leave Observer here and walk over and sit inside this man's experience. And I will go with you, and I will ask questions of Irvin, and I will talk to Irvin.
Okay.
Okay? When are you ready?
Okay.
All right? So, Irvin, how old are you?
67.
67. So I'm setting a little context. Are you married now? No. No. You have how many children?
3.
3. Tell me about them a little bit.
Well, Brad's 39, Claire's 37, Laura's 35.
Okay, so they're two years apart. Your children are all 2 years apart. And you and Blair have some differences. Yeah, and have had in the past.